So when I was doing my research for this, and correct me if I'm wrong about this fact, but I'm pretty sure you're the only Navy SEAL to go to the French Foreign Legion, correct?
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
Because the French Foreign Legion, for those of you who are unfamiliar, that is not like a normal military unit.
No.
That is a very elite unit to be in.
Yeah.
How do you when you're sitting there in Hawaii and you're at rock bottom, in your head you're like, I'm going to join the French Foreign Legion. How do you even go about that?
So
Where do you start?
when I had got out of jail back in college,
Mm-hmm.
and I was getting turned down by all these military branches, I came across them in my research. When I was like, okay, well, these guys will take some checkered backgrounds if I do want to serve, and the American military is not worth that. So I had that knowledge already.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was kind of my look red, grab red, my fucking safety hatch if I needed it. So I shelved that, man. And so when the realization started to come back, I started to kind of make a game plan when I realized that call wasn't coming, that I was waiting for, that was going to be like, hey, yeah, you're getting this job back. I realized.
Welcome back to the SEALs.
Or whatever. It was happening. It wasn't coming. The phone was quiet. And that was when I decided to punch the card.
So how do you even go, who do you call or where do you go to
Bro,
join
you
the
don't
French
call
Foreign Legion?
anybody. This is the trip, dude. People that don't know about this, dude, it's like showing up to the Wizard of Oz gate, dude.
Okay.
Because there's no application, there's no online form, there's nobody you call, there's no appointment you set.
Mm-hmm.
You show up to one of two small bases, one at Paris, on the outskirts of Paris, and one in South France, in Aubin. And you just go knock on the door, bro, with your bag and hand them your passport. And that's it. You bang on a door, and a dude with a gun and a green beret will open it up, a Legionnaire, and go. And I'm talking 365 days a year, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. You can go there on Christmas Day, middle of the night, and they'll open the door.
So do they kind of verify at least that you got the chops to be in there first before they open? Or can I go knock and at least get in for a night?
You might be able to get in for a night. Yeah,
really?
Yeah, because they're gonna look. They might turn you away just off if there's something wazoo or whatever.
I'm for sure not qualified. I'll tell you that.
Well, yeah. Well, I don't know.
There's a lot of disqualifying factors.
Well, I don't know because like I said, dude, people don't know your level of resolve or how much you're willing to change and how much you're willing to do, right? And so it'll open up for pretty much anybody. So once you go in, you give them your passport. I didn't see that passport again for 2.5 years.
Wow. They made it so you couldn't leave. You're locked in.
Well, if you make it,
yep.
If you don't make it, you're getting that thing back right away.
Oh, yeah.
So you go through an IQ test.
Mm-hmm.
You go through some medical screenings, psychological evaluations, Interpol background checks, interrogations. All that takes about a month. They'll do physical screenings, all this shit. And it's about 1 out of 15 dudes that come to the gate will actually get a contract to go to selection.
It's a very small percentage.
So it's about 1 out of 15 will actually go have the opportunity to go through the boot camp all that shit.
A chance to get a chance.
A chance to get a chance, right? And the interrogations are really more important than the physical side in the initial selection and pre-selection phases, dude. They grill you, bro. Dude, they want to know what the fuck are you doing here, right? What's a Navy SEAL doing here? Why aren't you in the United States military?
Yeah.
They don't want issues with the United States government. They don't want issues with Interpol issues. Mm-hmm. So they really go, no sexual crimes. They need to know who the fuck you are.
Yep.
So they really lean into you hard, and they're body language experts, and they're looking at all that shit in amongst all the actual background checks. Mm-hmm. So that was the process, man. And it's a lot of Eastern Bloc guys, a lot of Romanians, a lot of Hungarians, a lot of Ukrainians, some Russians, a lot of Brazilians, Nepalese, a bunch of countries in Africa, South Africans and shit like that. So
sounds like dudes from everywhere.
It's 150 nations represented. Mm-hmm. So it's a 200-year-old institution that was started by an old king to get motherfuckers out of the bar, foreigners out of the bar and back onto the battlefield and it's modeled after the Roman legions.
Interesting.
So that's what it's modeled after. It's modeled after the Roman legions, where they would serve their 17 and get their citizenship. Here it's 5. It's about 7. If you serve your 7, they'll offer you French citizenship if you serve, a good time and stuff.
Did you take it?
They gave me a fake name, bro.
Oh.
So you get a fake name when you go in. Mine was Trent Clayson, bro. And you have your identity, operate on a French passport with a fake name and all that.
What is your fake name, if you can share?
Trent Clayson.
Oh, you just said it. My bad.
Yeah.
I zoned out.
Trent Clayson, bro.
That's weird. That's not. Did they try to give you like a super American name so it was fitting?
Yeah,
or
because
what?
I mean they know you're not French. Like anybody's gonna know.
They're
Like,
not calling you Jean Paul or some
they're
shit.
not, yeah, they call me
Pierre.
John Paul. I'm like, what up, bro? You know, they're like,
So
Pierre.
when you're you knock on the door and you're going through this, you're the first SEAL to ever be there, so they're probably like red alert over you. They're like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
Yeah,
Right?
my interrogations were really long, dude. They took 4 days.
Really?
Of like 8 hours a day with like, they call it the Gestapo interviews.
Mm-hmm.
It's a secured building and they leaned into me and it was, dude, what happened?
Uh-huh.
And so I just was like, dude, I fucked my whole life up and I need a second chance. And I told them what was up. You know,
No choice but to be straight up.
I didn't done anything that terrible.
Mm-hmm.
For the Foreign Legion, it wasn't like some terrible crime or something. It was just fucking being an idiot, right? And so they were like, all right, well, let's do this, right? We'll give you an opportunity to kind of selection, and then we went into the selection process.
So it sounds like the Foreign Legion is kind of willing to accept, a little more mischief as long as you're qualified.
Oh, dude, there's been guys coming in there's been Interpol come to the gates of the Foreign Legion for dudes for like drug dealing and arms trafficking, and the Foreign Legion won't give them up.
Really?
They're like, get fucked. They're already in. They'll protect theirs, bro, for the most part.
That's crazy.
They'll eat theirs internally, but they'll protect dudes from the outside.
That's crazy.
Yeah, there's been dudes with some crazy-ass crimes, bro, like kidnappings and shit like that. They don't – dudes coming in with full faces blasted and tattoos, heads, and it looks crazy, dude, because you'll see dudes with, like, full military bearing and uniforms, just, like, full face tattoos. It's wild.
Why do you think the Foreign Legion in particular accepts and protects those people?
It's kind of culture, right? Because it was kind of formulated for like the murders and the robbers. That's where it started. It would take people with a lot of checkered backgrounds, but because they do that, the discipline in the Foreign Legion is fucking brutal. Dude.
Really?
Oh, bro. It's like the Marine Corps times 10 in terms of like formality and like brutality. In terms of like if you walk across the grass wrong, they'll put you in jail.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and their jail they're these small little jails on the each base, and in the morning you wake up and you grab like a 30-pound, like a 20-pound rock, and you have to run like 10 kilometers with this 20-pound rock around the thing in the morning, and then you set it down in this pyramid. Right, it's like to stack, bro. There's like the Great Pyramids of Egypt from all the dudes in front of all the. It's just the thing they do. They stack pyramids with rocks, and then you do like work, manual labor all day if you're kind of clipped up in the Foreign Legion. But they search you coming through the gate. They'll drug test you. They'll shake your room down. You have no freedom of movement. Anywhere you're moving, you're marching, singing. Formal, you knocking on the door, full presentation. Everything's in French, mind you. No English, bro. So you have to learn French.
So going there, how much French did you know when you got there?
Zero.
That must have been a rough transition.
Bro, trial by fire, dude. People talk about extreme immersion, bro. This is like extreme immersion.
How quickly did you pick up the language?
I never did. My French is I could get by and travel, but it sucks, dude. Accents, our California accent is rough on the French because the is very the nasally, like we're shocking the gnar, bro.
Hits the back of your throat when you're speaking French.
We speak that hard R, and so like
Yep.
anytime I'd be speaking French like pretty fluently, and people would be like, "Parlez français là-bas," like speak French over there, but because my accent sounds so strong, it sounds like I'm speaking English. They'd be yelling at me, dude. It's so funny, but yeah, it was all military. I deployed with the French Foreign Legion to South America. We went to French Guiana. A lot of people don't know France has territory in South America, combating illegal gold mining. Dude, we're just blowing up gold mines and shit. And
really
deep jungle operations for 4 months. Then we also did attachment with NATO when the Ukrainian invasion with Russia happened. So I was on the Russian border in Estonia.
Oh shit!
On the Enhanced Forward Presence Battle Group with
That's pretty
English.
recent,
bro. Dude. This was 2022.
Oh my god!
I just got back.
Yeah, you
actually guess what, bro? I got back a year ago today.
Really?
December 15th. Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah,
welcome home.
Yeah,
Hope you're
dude.
having
And so I
fun.
got back a year ago today, but it was a trip because I'd be like out in the woods doing with the French and the French flag, French Foreign Legion, and like a British guy would be like, I go, nah, bro, you're good, dude. And he's like, what the fuck are you doing out here? That's serious, bro. He'd like crawl out of a tank, and he'd be like, what the
Pull
fuck?
out like a little handbook, like what the fuck do I say to these guys?
Bro, like, they'd be tripped. They're like, dude, we got to get a beer after this, dude. What are you doing out here?
And then you tell him you used to be a SEAL, and he's like, what?
Yeah, dude. I was like, oh, bro, I took a hard left somewhere, dude. I got lost.
So, training to be in the French Foreign Legion, it sounds like there was a lot of major differences between training to be in the U.S. military, yeah?
Dude, it was, a lot of autonomy. It's an infantry unit, so it's not a special force unit. So that's the thing is that it's an infantry unit. So it's infantry tactics, it's less autonomy, and just more strict, you know? So it's a little bit different. And I was at a mountain specialty, so a mountain warfare specialty. And so we were in the Alps training and all that, and dude, I'm not made to be trekking around like a billy goat in the Alps. I paid the man, dude.
Fuck.
Building igloos. But yeah, it was really good training. We got to do a lot of cool shit. We're kind of a demolition specialty. And they run. Dude, the French Foreign Legion love to run. And so it was 4 years of some change of paying the man, dude.
More running, the shit you hate.
Bro, that was the biggest part I was scared of because I remember going in and I was researching, all right, what Foreign Legion? Like, all right, what is this going to be all about? They're like, dude, you better love running, bro. And if you're not, and I was like, oh, man. I was like, so it was walking into some serious fear, dude. I mean, we'd be running 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We'd do half marathons, bro, like on a regular Tuesday, dude, in the snow, in the fucking rain, dude. It was heavy.
And they'd have you doing that like back-to-back days?
Every day, dude. Dude, every day, dude. You
How
wake
do you
up
recover? Like when?
Bro,
what is your recovery
my
time?
feet were so smashed, bro. But your body acclimates after a while. I mean, you just will get better. I was never great. I was always getting yelled at in the back. They're like, oh, allez, allez. I was getting yelled at by some Russian dude speaking to me in French with a Russian accent, dude. It was just it was such a trip.
So you finally finish up your training. You do the selection process. You make it through. Now, you said it was about 1 in 15 that make it to the selection, right?
Yeah.
How many actually make it past that selection?
So I would say it's a pretty good amount. I'd say about 80% make it.
Okay.
I'd say about 80 to 70% make it because by that time, it's more dudes quitting. They'll keep you around just because, dude, there's 7,000 Legionnaires, and they're spread all over the world. Africa, Tahiti, South America. So they need all those dudes.
That's a lot more than there are SEALs.
Yeah, more SEALs. Well, they spread out a lot. It covers all the jobs. So the Foreign Legion's interesting because it's a one-stop shop for France. They have their own tanks. They have their own cavalry, their own parachute regiment, their own infantry, their own engineers, their own cooks, their own medical staff. It's like a one package deal, which is great for France because they can put the Foreign Legion in all these different spots.
Plop them anywhere, yeah.
And no political pressure if anybody comes back in a body bag.
Yep.
They're not French citizens. So it's a very interesting tool for the French government. And they would use us for interior domestic missions too, which was wild. I was patrolling the Riviera, dude, because they have a lot of terrorism issues with integration with a lot of the Algerians and stuff down there. And a lot of places of worship. So we would patrol places of worship, the beaches, tourist destinations. Dude, like patrolling on the Riviera with HKs.
Yeah, I mean,
so
Paris
weird.
has a lot of terrorism in it.
Dude,
like,
a lot of people don't know it. It's powerful in Europe, you know, and people love it. They're like, hey, Legionnaire, you know.
oh,
they
you guys are
love it.
heroes.
Yeah,
They're
they
like,
love it. Yeah, it's like they're nice, but it would raise eyebrows here. There, it's like, yeah. So we did some cool missions like that too.
So your first deployment, you said you were in the jungles.
Yeah.
And you were stopping illegal gold mines.
Yeah, bro.
That's got to be crazy.
Yeah, it was
So,
wild.
How do you, start doing that? The first day, let's say you arrive in the jungle. Like, what do you? What's
So
that day
first
like?
they take us through like a crash course jungle course.
Okay.
So they call it Premier Foray, First Forest. And you're out there for like a week and some change, and they're like, here's how you fucking fill up your water, because you're not carrying water. You're filling it up in the Amazon jungle with chlorine tablets. And here's how you rig your hammock up. Here's how you make sure you don't have fucking snakes in your shit, right? And how to put your boots and how to dry your stuff out and how to actually operate in the jungle environment. So we did that. Then it's get out there and be somebody. And they just slap us on the ass and put us on a riverboat. And we were on the Suriname, French Guiana border, Guiana Francais, for months, doing patrols, 14-day patrols in, and hitting gold mines every fucking day, dude. Like, when we'd go on a patrol, we'd hit a gold mine every day, smash their shit up with sledgehammers, blow some shit up, pull their engines out, chase them off. You can't do anything with it.
Yeah.
You can't arrest them. You just burn all their shit and then move on to the next
just
one.
fuck it all up.
Yeah, just fuck it all up and go to the next.
So when you're coming to these mines, would they fight back, or would they kind of be like, oh, these guys are going to fuck us up, let's dip?
Well, they don't want issues with the French military because it's not even like we're police, dude. We'll just smash.
You'll just shoot.
Yeah.
Like,
You'll
fuck shit up.
It's a totally different. You got foreigner. You got some machines of war coming out of some dark hole in Russia, patrolling around, dude. You got some hard dudes, bro. You got some Ukrainians and tough dudes out there that are just down to get it. So looking for any reason. So they don't want issues with the French Foreign Legion. So they'll usually run off, and we're not. Also, I'm a human.
Of course.
We're not like dicks, and so a lot of us were just like, I'm not trying to really like fuck these people's lives.
Yeah, you're
up.
not like on the way there, like, I hope I fucking shoot hella people.
And that's just not how I get down either.
You're just there to deal with the mine.
Yeah, and I've just never really been like that anyway. And the people I aren't like that. We're like, let's do our job. I'm not going to do a bit more than that.
Yeah.
Just get them off. Okay, I might eat a bag of their potato chips and fucking fuck off, It's like, that's
fair trade.
That's like, I'm not really trying to, because they got women out there and kids, dude. They got grandmas out there. Dude, we'd come across, they had like mini cities. We came across one gold mine place that had a fucking karaoke bar built in it.
Seriously?
In the middle of the jungle.
Fully functional with like a microphone?
They had a mic and all that shit.
Shut the fuck up.
That's serious,
They
bro.
have any good bottles you recognized in there?
They had a bar and a fucking disco ball and all that shit.
What the fuck are they doing out there at the mine, dude?
And they're doing a lot, man.
Bro, the disco ball is crazy.
Dude, there's gold everywhere out there, dude. I had no idea really the magnitude. We came across some gold mines, dude, where you grab in the dirt and see the teeny little flakes of gold just in the ground.
Should have taken a little bit.
I mean, dude, how do you think I got these teeth, bro?
I got this shit myself.
Yeah, no, dude. So it's just but it's powerful. So I understand why France has their little piggies down there and they found oil down there recently. So there's billions of dollars of infrastructure going down there.
Oh, so there's only going to be more illegal mines popping up.
There's tons
doing
of
shit.
stuff, and it's like, dude, I get it. A lot of them are Brazilians coming up, but ain't no borders out there, dude. It's deep Amazon. Like, what country are you really in? You know?
No one has a map they're obeying out there. Dude,
you don't even know where you're at.
Yeah, they're in the fucking jungle.
Dude, the jungle's crazy, man. I had a whole new respect because you can't carry enough water. Dude, you're sweating your nuts off, like completely soaked 24 hours a day. You have one dry thing in like a dry bag in your bag that you'll pull off at night. You'll rinse off bathe off in the thing and then put your dry shit on. Bro, you ain't never experienced joy like putting the dry shit on at night.
That's gotta feel so good.
Bro, and then you lay down in your hammock and you're like, oh my God,
it's not
dry.
moist.
Yeah, it's not moist, dude. And then you put the wet shit back on in the morning. Your wet socks, wet pants, because it never dries. So you and then you keep your little dry stuff in the bag.
Were you getting sick a lot when you first got there?
Never. Dude,
really?
I swear, dude, by living out there, there's something about that raw that taps into our human savageness that I never got the sniffles out there.
I think it's just being in the sun, I mean, the sun's got to be that natural protector.
And you're drinking just river water, dude, like you're just getting hard, bro.
River water and pillaging liquor from the gold mine bar. You've got something building in you.
Dude, your body's just like, look, we can't get sick. we don't have the option.
Were they drinking like any recognizable bottles, or were they drinking like some homebrew shit?
Dude, they're drinking they're bringing some homebrew, bro. But they're also drinking, good tequila and stuff. These guys got money, bro. Like, they're out there pulling in some cheese.
Oh yeah, I bet they are.
Yeah, they're not messing around. These guys are genius too, man. Dude, they're pulling in diesel engines on ATVs and stuff, like manufacturing it there on site. The reason why there's also some issues, they use a lot of mercury, so they're using they're fucking a lot of shit up too.
Oh yeah, the
they don't have
environment's
any vested
fucked
interest.
up.
Yeah, so they're doing a lot of shit that's definitely not kosher. So, but it was a fascinating experience.
So when you pull up to these mines and you're clearing these out, is there like child labor going on? They got kids working in these mines, or?
No, I didn't see anything like that.
Okay.
I just saw like families.
Okay.
right? I mean, they're out there with their wives, and
Yep.
the wives are in the kitchens cooking, and it's kind of their family ordeals for the most part. That's why we weren't really trying to like fuck these people's lives up. It's like, I get what's
Yeah.
kind of happening here. So it's all right. Well, we got to kind of like break this shit. Like, you're illegally gold mining, so we can't.
Yep.
And this is my fucking job, you know. And so we just would take their stuff apart. We'd say, hey, we give them some water and some stuff, and then they guys got to kind of go wherever, you know. They'll build the stuff
What
back
happens
in. But
with like the stash of gold they got there?
so I didn't see like just stashes of gold, or if I did, the French officers definitely took it before we got
Yep.
our piggies in there.
Yep.
Because it's French officers.
Okay.
That's another piece. So they use French officers from their like West Point, and it's like a feather in the cap of their career to be in the Foreign Legion, right? It's like kind of a coveted spot.
Okay.
It's got kind of a sexy spot, and so they rule with an iron fist, and they're definitely the big cheese. But they're French officers, so we would operate with them. And I didn't see they do have legal gold mines down there, though. That's also why the French have us down there. So we would patrol and kind of keep. And at these legal gold mines, I saw some serious gold, man. And one guy, I asked him, I'm like, how much are you pulling out here? They were pulling out 700,000 euros a week. 4 guys.
Every week?
Every week, dude. Whatever that looks like in raw or whatever. But they had a guy get shot through the neck on the way out because, dude, they go through like a gauntlet. People know, bandits know what's happening here.
Yep.
And so how do you get it out? How do you get this stuff out? They would
Run
have
the
a
fucking
guy,
gauntlet.
Dude. They would put a guy on a fucking, I don't know how you draw the short straw for this. They'd put a guy on the back of a motorcycle, and the guy in the back would hold a gun. He'd have a backpack on, and one guy would drive and just fucking try to make it to
And
the
he's
main
just got
river.
a bag full of gold with a gun, just fucking.
Dude, it'd be like,
They
wing.
couldn't even give him a car.
Dude, you can't get any cars out there, bro. Dude,
Oh,
there's
fuck,
no
yeah,
there's no way.
There's probably not even. Yeah,
You can barely walk. You can barely ride a dirt bike. And so he just
the
would,
intricacies.
and he would get it all the way out and go to the main river, and then they do it, have their guys they'd meet up with.
I wonder what the fatality rate is on that job, dude.
Bro,
gotta be
it's
fucking
dangerous. I mean,
high.
they pay security companies out there a lot of money.
Oh,
from
yeah.
Former foreign legionnaires and guys like that to live out there and work at some of these larger gold mines.
So that's another interesting thing too. Those private security companies that you bring up. Being someone who my only knowledge about military stuff, at least prior to talking to you, is really like movies and shit.
Yeah.
When I hear that, I think like Blackwater.
Yeah.
I think those kind of things. Are those entities operating in the same area as you guys?
Yeah. Well, companies like that, with
Okay.
the names and stuff, 100%. 100%. A lot of those companies change names a lot.
Yeah.
Right, as
Yeah.
you can imagine.
I mean, they probably get
they're
involved in
amorphic, and they're amorphic, but it's a very word of mouth. They call it the circuit. It's called the circuit, right? Private contracting or contracting is what it's called. Mercenary work. So that is, you have security stuff. You have stuff in Africa. Africa's a big market, huge market for that. And you definitely have stuff in South America too. But you have stuff going on in like Haiti, for instance. You have a lot of shit going on in Haiti. Companies will hire people, go down exploration sites for gold mining, diamonds, cobalt, all these things. They need all these security specialists to go in and build these infrastructures in for these larger companies.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like there's a whole kind of big industry of that for a lot of ex-military people. After your time in the SEALs, was that something that you ever considered besides the Foreign Legion? Like maybe I'd do
Yeah, it was. Those contracts it just didn't sit right at the time because I had a different job. I just didn't have the gap of time where I wanted to. Really, I didn't need to. I had a pretty good life going for the most part, so I was happy. And it was going into the Foreign Legion. My biggest goal was to go contract after. That's why I wanted to learn French. 26 countries in Africa speak French. A lot of people don't know that. France has had their little imperialistic piggies all over.
They had their
and a lot of
colonization
gold.
going crazy.
So I'm like, I have a special operations background, having a Foreign Legionnaire background stacked on top in the resume. I'll speak French, English. I'll be able to go work for different companies. So that was my goal going in. And things kind of changed a little bit where I ended up kind of doing what I do now.
So, you do that first deployment. You're protecting these gold mines. You're doing your time in the jungle. You said that was about 4 months? How do they pull you out of there? Is it the same thing where they rotate someone
Rip you
else
out.
in?
Same exact process.
And then you're back to France training more?
Back to France, training more. And now I'm going to promotional courses. Now I'm going to more specialty courses we're training in the Alps. So we trained. Our training was called Valoir Post, which is on the Italian-French border. And dude, we were just building igloos in the French Alps, like at night hiking. That was hard, man.
That would fuck me up. I don't do well with altitude.
Woo, bro, I saw some crazy injuries out there. People died out there.
Really?
Yeah, dude. It's our regiment was very, very dangerous as far as training, because the mountains are unforgiving, man. The Alps are no joke.
What's some of the gnarly stuff you saw?
Well, we had an African kid, African kid, and he was rappelling down off of a thing, and he got off the rope and kind of ran, and he started to kind of like quick kind of go downhill fast, but he just got way too much speed and then tumbled, and he rolled, bro, and he hit like a rock and had 2 compound fractures in his femurs.
Oh,
and so he had to get clipped up. I mean, compound fractures in the femurs, y'all. That was serious.
That sounds brutal.
Yeah, dude, it was brutal, bro. And luckily, we had one of our who was training with us at the time. He was like this super well trained combat medic who was specialized in the mountains, and he happened to be like right next to him, which by the grace of God. But they had to life flight him out and bring the helicopters and all that shit. And so that was pretty gnarly as far as like injury wise.
Yeah, that sounds horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, that's mountain stuff too. I get so lightheaded with elevation. Like, I'm probably not as high up as you guys were, but like when I go to Denver, I get sick every time.
Yeah.
I can't do that shit.
Yeah.
I just throw up.
Yeah.
So bad. No matter how long I'm there, I'll spend a week. I will never adjust.
It's beautiful though, man. I tell you, it's powerful. There is definitely a lot of power up there in the mountains. The Foreign Legion can suck the fun out of anything though, dude. Like, dude, you be skiing or whatever, bro. They'll be like, hey, we're skiing for a week. I'm like, dude, the military in general anybody who's been in the service watching this, they know the military can suck the fun out of skydiving or whatever, bro. It doesn't matter.
So you're back and you're training in the Alps again. Is the next stop for you going to Ukraine?
The next stop is Estonia, technically.
Oh, okay.
Technically,
all right.
We're on the border of Russia.
And what brought you there?
NATO, technically. So they attached the Foreign Legion to a small French contingent with a group called the Enhanced Forward Presence Battle Group, which was UK, United Kingdom, Estonians, and the Danish, the French. So we were in this big cohesive unit doing this kind of flexing on the border, blowing shit up, rolling out with like 82 tanks and shit, doing these cross trainings. So we spent 5 months there doing that.
And this sounds like a much more intense kind of combat, deployment than the first one, yeah?
No, it wasn't bad. No, because we're not shooting at Russia. Imagine.
True.
Right? So we're not shooting at Russia. It was like them flying helicopters around, it was like just posturing.
Yeah. Just flexing at each other.
Just flexing at each other, bro. Like, it ain't trying to kick World War III off quite yet.
Yo, let's fly in a lap today, show them what we got.
Yeah, so it was just, they had enhanced forward presence battle groups in Poland, there, and Germany, I believe.
So you're in Estonia. Is there anything that was like different about being in Estonia that you had to adjust to?
Bro, I gotta tell you, bro. First of all, I never fucking knew where Estonia was, right? For the most part, I just didn't know where it was. Beautiful country. Really beautiful country. Beautiful people. Tough people. They're not quick to laugh. You know what I mean?
Very serious.
They're a little bit more serious. But, dude, I like in their cities and stuff. It was very interesting, man. I had a whole new respect for, a whole new country, man. And so that was a cool experience.
So once you get there, is it another 4-month deployment, or did you
5?
spend 5? Okay, so around the same amount of time.
Yeah.
So what's like your day-to-day in Estonia? Let's say you wake up on a normal day. What are you doing out there?
So for me, this is where I started to build like my personal disciplines too. Okay. I really started to ratchet down on like my early wake-ups, like stuff, because I decided, and here's the thing, what was kind of goes into the overarching redemption story is like, when did I kind of like learn how to stop fucking my shit up? It was about 3 years into the Legion, a couple years in, and I go, bro, I'm still not happy. Like, now I'm looking in Foreign Legion's units in Ukraine. Now I'm looking at mercenary groups. I'm like, where does this end? Do I just keep fucking going down this rabbit hole till I take a round to the head? Like, what is the whole point here? And dude, I want to live a life, and I'm just going to be like living in fucking shitholes till I'm, till I die.
Yeah.
And so I really started to, why? Well, I guess I just need to just make myself happy. And so that's when I just thought back to when I had been happier in my life. And I was like, well, I woke up early. I was like training more specific. And I just got consistent. I just locked all these pieces together, reading some Stoic philosophy, started actually challenging my old ways of thinking, saying no to myself in things that I did would cause me a lot of destruction. And so I just started tightening this up. And so in Estonia, when I was there, I started getting up early, training outside. We'd go have our trainings, our cross training. I'd be doing some translation with the UK units. We'd go out in the woods and do our thing and blow some shit up and whatever. A lot of it was just a lot of cross training.
Yep.
And so that was the flow, man. It was just that daily battle rhythm of like final training exercises, this and that. But I really used that time to like lock on my personal disciplines.
It sounds like Estonia was a lot nicer than the jungle to be in.
Bro, it was. I personally like the jungle more.
Really?
Yeah, I like that operational AO, area of operation, better. I like the jungle too. It just speaks to my soul. It's the pace I like. It's like slow, methodical, fucking kind of wet and sticky. I kind of like it.
Gritty,
man. Yeah, and it was also just you're off in the woods. Like people just aren't fucking with you as much.
Yep.
You know, this was a little bit more high visibility, so you have a lot more brass.
Yeah,
a lot more people around, more eyes on.
You got to be a little more serious.
I got to be a little bit more locked on, and I can't be wearing cutoff t-shirts and shit, and like cowboy hats and shit.
So while you're in Estonia, was there a point? Because I mean, it sounds like you're there at a pretty tense time to be there.
Yeah.
Did shit ever like almost escalate to where you were thinking like, oh, I might get involved in some combat?
Well, there was some times where Russia was flying, you know, a lot of helicopters around. They're moving tanks. They're moving heavy armor close to the border, and I'm like, all right, well, we're here, so let's see what the fuck's up. Right, so there was definitely some moments, but I wasn't like worried about it. But I was just okay. We'll see if this happens.
Sounds like it was always just kind of that overarching like they're acting up today.
Yeah, like that's how it is.
Yeah,
you know, that's how a lot of times it is. It's like that Cold War shit.
So, you know, kind of going back to your time that you spent in Estonia. You know, you do your 5 months there. You wrap that up. Was that your most recent deployment that you did?
Yeah, that was pretty much.
That was the one you came back from about a year ago.
Yeah, well, I got back. That was 2022, and then it was just I was training a little bit more, and then we were getting geared up for whatever the next thing was. But then I was done.
So, what brought you to being done?
Dude, part of it was forced. So,
really?
Yeah, man, because I started to kind of go, all right, well, I don't want to stay in the Foreign Legion anymore, right? I was going to be done. So I was like, all right, I'm going to finish my time off. But I really had gotten to the point where, dude, I was felt so good about life and my daily processes. My body was built back up, my confidence. And I was like, oh, dude, I could show people how to do this. I was suicidal. And now I feel great, dude. Like I could show people how to do it. And I'm happy in the Foreign Legion in a barracks room. If I can be happy here, I could teach people how to be happy anywhere. And so that's when I put my camera down and I just started telling my story and told them about, you know, the whole people that watch my YouTube, TCAV TV, bro. You see my first one is me in a Foreign Legion barracks room with my uniform on.
Yeah.
And so I'm actually sending it full stream of consciousness from the barracks room. And that was cool, man. And I got hundreds of messages from former Marines and military guys. And they're like, dude, I was going to kill myself. And I fucking didn't because I saw your video and I really appreciate it. I'm like, oh, all right, there's something here. And I really felt like on a mission, dude, like fulfilled. Like, all right. I know all that pain was for something. Now let me share it. And I put a couple videos out, man, and they fucking blew up. And the Foreign Legion was not happy about that, bro. And so they're like NCIS for whatever. They're like take it to unlev two set merit. Like take all this shit down right now. And I was like, no. And that was fucking because I was like, dude, I have momentum now, and I'm not fucking taking this shit down. I was done though. My contract was done. They actually had put me already on kind of the Twilight tour. And so I'm like fucking finishing up and I'm like, no, I'm not staying here. And I tried to fight it with a lawyer, French lawyer. And they were like, dude, you're not a citizen. You're in this weird legal gray area. If they want to put you on, they were going to put me on food discipline and jail, like bread and water and fucking breaking big rocks into small rocks until I took it down. And then they're going to kick me out anyway and I wasn't taking it down. And that was not going to go over well, you know? So I fought it for a little while. And then it was pretty much, it was like, all right, well, irreconcilable differences. We broke the contract and I fucking came back to the United States.
That's got to be, I mean, it sounds like
4.5 years.
Sounds like you were excited about the future, and doing new stuff, but also it's got to be difficult kind of pulling that bottom out from under you,
Dude, I wanted to finish on good terms, right?
Yeah.
And so I had finished my other fucking one on, and I was like, bro, am I going to be that guy that just, has that asterisk? But, bro, this is life, man. I go, dude, this ain't a fucking fairy tale. Shit doesn't work out sometimes. And some people will be talking shit like, oh, you wouldn't honor your fucking, I go, bro, you have a divorce, motherfucker. So I go, dude, people, they're like, oh, that's different. I go, shut the fuck up. No, it's not. Like people just, they don't relate it to things. And I'm like, and you weren't there. So I knew what my mission was. I knew what God or the universe or destiny, whatever you want to fucking call it, I knew what the mission was. And it's proved to be extremely correct, right? I mean, I came here, met my fiance. We have a baby due in like 3 days.
Nice. Congrats.
Bro, it's like my first, I've never had, and massively successful this year. I have hundreds of clients. And it's been fucking massively, massively successful. And so I know you only know if it's a good decision in retrospect, but more importantly, inner peace, right? Only you know your level of resolve, and if you're operating in that aligned path, and it's not for anybody else to understand. So, yeah, it was scary.
Yeah,
is it gonna work? Right? Am I gonna fucking fail and have all the fear, all the self-doubt that we all deal with? And just be confident and kind of go forward with, like we talked about before, Nick, is just keep showing up.
Yeah.
When everyone else is like, we'll let that fear guide them, use it as a catalyst.
Just keep doing it.
Just keep fucking showing up, man.